Hi all and welcome to the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show as the loop world runs again with the spike in the virus. Mnuchin or Munchkin talking about another stimulus check in July, ignoring the fact that many didn't get the first stimulus check or their unemployment pay either. Mnuchin said the first $1,200 could last for 10 weeks. We are now past that 10 weeks, and now he says we need to wait until July for another one. These people are taking the piss out of the people, and the people by and large are allowing it. Now, I'm going to presume the next stimulus check will take people up to October, when the alleged fake vaccines are supposed to come out. And yet, is it not the case we already have a vaccine on public view? And yet so few recognise it and even less question it. Those vaccines are the police, the media and politicians, as none of them are wearing a mask and haven't since it started. So by their common core logic, it stands that if you want to be cured of the virus, is stand next to those three categories of people. It may cure you of the virus, but not stupidity or the ability to think. Now, there was a discussion in the chat last week that I thought would be useful for a wider audience. And it is something many people are struggling with currently, even more so now than in the past. The issue of the sleepers or bot behaviour people and not waking up and seeing reality. You know, that is more in your face now than any other time previous. We have gone from a world of illusion and lies, and we have had a few so-called conspiracy theory people calling out more of the truth, who all were predictably dismissed by society as freaks, nuts, delusional, mental patients, and the think tank Langley-based meme of conspiracy theorist. But that world is gone. And it is remarkably reversed now, as the world is a giant conspiracy theory now, and it's all in your face. And yet the majority of the people are conspiracy, not theorists, because they have no theory, but illusionists. So all the so-called theories are now out in public for all to view, and yet the blind children fail to see their own demise. But not only do they fail to see their demise, they are actively participating in it. And it does take a special level of blindness to do that. Now, one of our members who was struggling with this is better known as Billy Idol. That's correct. About how we must care and help the unawakened. And I do get that. And so that sparked this piece. And essentially I said, I get that you care for the all. And we all do in here, as this is what we at THI are all about. But this is a key epoch in time. And we need to focus on what we have, not what we don't have. The source, the universe, the sun, and many of us on this planet have held an arm down and waiting for them to put their arm up. So essentially, we can pull them out of their illusion and their pit. You know, we've had a strong decade of growth learning via the alt media, disclosures, exposures on a massive scale, and they just roll on enforcing the old system, which is Stockholm Syndrome on steroids. Those people, in essence, are children, relying on the government, church, media to tell them what to do and think. You know, hey, quit your jobs and stay at home and we'll give you $1,200 for 2 months to compensate you. Wear health-damaging masks. Stay at home. Don't go out. And when you do go out, stay 6 feet apart, which is symbolic of being buried. And no, it's not a coincidence. No sport, no gym, no bars, no theatre. And the people all self-enforced martial law on themselves. For human progression, we don't need adult children. We need the children taught and the adults to be adults. And this planet is carrying lazy and lazy-minded people in large numbers. And there are some excuses for that. More so a decade ago than now. But it is at this stage minimal. Many want to stay children, and they're holding back the whole of humanity with their I want a nanny state behavioural modes. Now they may talk about not wanting it, but they're reinforcing it in the same sentence. Trump will have to fix this, Trump will have to do that, Hillary will have to do this, Pelosi will have to do that, and Comey will have to do that. But where's our input? And these people, by and large, don't want to do anything of their own volition. It's all instructions and repeat after me. And that is computer-like. And the dangers of that will be highlighted very starkly later in the show. We don't want or need computer-type people waiting to press buttons for instructions. We don't need phone-based people squinting at a 4-inch screen like some Japanese kamikaze pilot. And the TV screen people watching utter drivel because now that is their level of thinking. We need the people who are going to expand their thinking, consciousness. And all, by and large, are individualistic exercises. We need to rebuild communities of people coming together who will do things together. The mission was for the all. It was downgraded to rescue mission and then salvage mission. And develop what we have. And to enable this planet and its human guardians to go forward on a plain and soul development level, beyond just the duplicate world of energy harvesting and disease known as the astral, we have to have leaders to lead the way. You cannot drag non-thinking people along with you. It stalls it and our progress. We have to have a number of people essentially being the pioneers for a planetary restoration. We have waited for 10 years for the masses to wake up, and whilst progress has been made in that field, it is painfully slow and not conducive to the plan. A number of people have come to me in the past month saying the same thing. That they struggled with the 85-15% concept. Maybe they didn't believe it outright or just didn't want to face that reality, which is understandable. But that concept, they said to me, you put out of the 15% looks more realistic in the past 2 months than ever. And some went further and said they now think the 15% is optimistic upon judging people's behaviours. The disconnect of sleepers and us is now more marked. And some will say that is making us appear special or elitist. But we never created that. They did. I want to see millions of Neos, not a few hundred, not one. And our shows were designed that way to elevate us all out of the pit and march forward at a pace. You cannot march forward at a pace carrying baggage in the form of sleepers. No matter how much you want to or wish to try. This is your journey alone. And the fact we created a group to support your journey is a plus. But it cannot and will not become the crutch for you to sit back and let others do the work. Because all are responsible for that. We are not special or elitist, but they created the scenario where now basic common sense appears Einstein levels of intellect. And for me personally, it's painful to watch.